So habit is something that when you do over time, it becomes part of you. It's your character. It becomes what people see in you. It becomes it defines you. Yes, that's just it. At a point, it defines you, defines who you are, and then it affects your relationship. It affects your marriage. Because even if I always tell people, even if God is involved in your relationship, even if you know that I'm with the right person, this marriage, God actually spoke to me that this is my husband, God actually spoke to me that this is my wife, you still have your part to play. If you exhibit certain habits, if you do certain things in your marriage, if you behave in certain ways in your marriage, you will definitely mess it up. You will definitely mess it up. You may just mess up a very good relationship if you have these habits. You can mess up a good marriage if you have these habits. You can use your hand to actually scatter what God has actually created, what God has beautifully built for you. That is why it's important for us to have this conversation. It's important that we have this conversation. Habits that mess up marriage, that mess up relationship. If you want to enjoy your marriage, please, I want you to pay attention to this. You want to enjoy your marriage, you want to enjoy your relationship, you want your relationship to actually lead to where it's supposed to lead to, that marriage, and you want to also enjoy your marriage, you need to pay attention to these habits. You need to do away with these habits so you can have a beautiful marriage, so you can have a beautiful home. And the thing is, these are things that we must cultivate. If you're single, you need to, these are habits that you must watch. You must work on yourself. You must work on your character. It's not when you start the relationship. You don't wait until you start the marriage. You need to work on yourself now that you're still single. And if you're married, you need to be intentional about it and say, okay, I want to enjoy my marriage. I need to do away with these things. So character is very important. Very, very important. No matter how beautiful you are, no matter how sexy you are, no matter how how good you appear on the outside, it's your character is very important. People cannot tolerate bad character. That is just the truth. They may just endure for a while. At a point, they may just get tired of it. And these are habits that has affected a lot of marriages, affected intimacy in marriage. That is why it's important that you work on yourself. You make sure, because marriage, we're not perfect. That's just, nobody's perfect, but we can work on ourselves to be better for our spouse, to be better even for our society at large. So today we're talking about the habits that can mess up your relationship, that can mess up your marriage. So you need to watch out for them and actually work on them. Now, the first habit I'm going to mention is this: pride. Let me tell you something. Pride is very destructive. Pride is destructive, and pride will destroy any kind of marriage or any kind of relationship. So it's important that you pay attention to that. If you discover that you have pride, know that it's not going to help you in your relationship. It can mess up a good relationship. You can be married to a good man. If you are proud, you can just mess that marriage up. You can have a good guy, a very good guy, a good lady that God has blessed you with, even in a relationship, and you are looking, you have marriage in view and all that. If you are proud, you cannot have a beautiful relationship. You cannot have a beautiful marriage, because a proud person hardly forgives. A proud person cannot apologize. When you are proud, you think yourself, you place yourself highly above others. You feel, oh, I am the best. You feel, oh, I am never wrong. You understand. So it is important that you watch it. Pride destroys. Pride can destroy any beautiful relationship. It can mess up any beautiful marriage. So it is important. How do I know that I am proud? Now you need to pay attention to this. If you discover that you hardly apologize when you're wrong, that is pride. You hardly apologize when you're wrong. You're in a relationship, the person you can't just offend somebody and then you apologize to the person. And if you discover that you find it very difficult to accept apology when you are wronged, So when someone offends you, your partner offends you, you find it very difficult to accept their apology, because you feel, why will you even do this to me? Why will you, so you just feel that, oh, I should not be offended. That is pride, because we are humans. People will definitely step on your toes. Your partner will at a point, offend you. So humility helps if you're humble, you will definitely forgive, because you will look at it like, okay, nobody is perfect. I'm also human. I could have made, such mistake. So if you find it difficult to forgive people, it's a sign of pride, and you need to watch out. Watch that. You cannot be married and not forgive. It's not just gonna work. If you're married, you must learn to forgive, because you'll be offended by your spouse. You will also offend your spouse, and it is important that you forgive. So, and another sign that you are proud is when you discover that you are always right. You feel you are always right, you are never wrong. It's a sign of pride. So every argument, you want to win every argument, you are defensive. So even when your partner is calling your attention to something, oh, what you did is wrong, you find yourself defending yourself. Oh, it's not like that, it's this, it's that. You just want to win the argument. It's a sign of pride, and it can just mess up a beautiful relationship. So you must learn to humble yourself. As a woman, if you are proud, there's no way you can submit to a man. That is just it. You will just feel, why do I need to submit to him? Why do I need to ask for permission to do this? Why do I need his opinion? Why do I need this? Why do I need to do that? Because of pride. If you're proud as a man, you will find it difficult to take suggestions from your wife, from your fiance. You find it very difficult, because you feel you know it all. You feel that, oh, you are better than the other person. So it's important that you watch it. And I always say this, these are things that you need to watch, even if you are not married, even if you are not in a relationship. You need to start working on yourself before then. So don't say, oh, I'll wait till, no, just leave me like this when I start a relationship or when I get married. No, because most times the things that we do, the habits that we have formed while we are single, while we are young, these are habits that we actually take into marriage. You take them into relationship. You are proud in your neighborhood. Nobody can talk to you. Everybody sees you as a proud person. You always feel you are better than every other person. You will definitely take that into any relationship you get into. And eventually you will take that into marriage. And it's not going to be good for you. So it is important that you watch it. So pride is one habit that will definitely mess up your marriage or relationship if you do not watch it. Do you know that people cannot just tolerate a proud person? It's irritating. It's a turn off. Even a proud person cannot stand a proud person. That's one thing I've discovered. Even a proud person cannot stand a proud person. So it is important that you actually watch that. If people have been telling you that you are proud, look at yourself. Don't say, oh, they're just saying it. That's not who I am. Just check yourself in the light of the things that I have just said. Do you accept apologies? Do you say I am sorry when you are wrong? Do you always feel you are always right? Do you always avoid corrections? It's a sign of pride, and you really, really, need to watch it. Now, the second habit that mess up marriage or relationship, this one is very, very important. I tell you, please, you need to watch it. If you are always troublesome, you know that you just like trouble. Being troublesome is an habit that will mess up any relationship, any marriage. People are always offending you. People are always stepping on your toes. Only you, all your friends, you're having issues with all your friends. Just you, all your everybody in your neighborhood, everybody is after you. Like you discover that you are troublesome. You always find problem where there's no problem. People are always offending you. This one look at me this way, this one spoke to me like this one. If you are troublesome, tell you the truth, it will mess up your marriage or relationship, because you always find fault. Even when people don't really mean to hurt you. You will always feel that people are after you. You always feel people hate you. You always see one thing. You won't be able to make excuse for people. The truth is, these people will definitely offend you. It's normal because we are different. You have different personalities. Even in relationship, in marriage, you are not the same with your spouse. You are not a clone of your spouse. That is just it. So if you discover that you are being troublesome, you always find fault in everything, people are always offending you, there's no day that somebody does not offend you. You just discover that you always fight, you have problems with people, all your friends, you're fighting with them, you're fighting with your neighbor, you're fighting with your sister, you're keeping malice with your brother, you're at loggerheads with your mother. That means you're being troublesome. You need to watch it, because when you start a relationship, it will definitely mess it up, because you won't be able to even accept love freely. You always see something very wrong. You always pick things, normally things that you're supposed to overlook, you will just read meaning to it. So it is an habit that you need to watch, you need to pay attention to, and just try as much as possible to work on yourself. Learn to tolerate people, learn to make excuse for people, learn to accept people's weaknesses. That is just the truth. If you can do this, you will discover that you have less problems with people, and you have less problem even with your spouse, with your with whoever you're in a relationship with. So it is important. And when you talk about being troublesome, I'm going to just add that together with being with anger. Yes, because most time people that are troublesome are always given to anger. Anger is an habit that can mess up your relationship, can mess up your marriage. Uncontrollable anger. When you are angry, you can say anything. When you are angry, you can pick anything. When you are angry, you can break anything. It is an habit that can just destroy your marriage. These habits destroy lives. That is just the truth. So anger is an habit that can mess up your relationship. Even if you are married to an angel, even if you are in a relationship with an angel, like blameless person, you will still mess up that relationship because of your anger. So you must learn to calm down. You must learn to think about situations thoroughly before reacting. Learn to hold your breath. Learn to hold yourself when you are confronted with certain situations, with certain challenges, with some circumstances. Learn to hold yourself. One of the things that has personally helped me is this: if somebody does something for me, even my husband, something that I'm not really comfortable with, I don't talk about it at that moment. I just leave it. Just that moment, I just leave it, and I discovered that it has really helped me. Because by the time I go about doing other things and all that, times I'll be like, okay, I'm going to really talk about it, but I won't talk about it immediately. I discovered that by the time I just pay attention to other things and all that, by the time I now want to talk about it, the whole thing has even, I'm already calm. I will now discover that the thing is not really making sense anymore. Seriously, I'll just say that, oh really, this thing is not even a big deal. You understand? And that will just be it. The anger is gone. There's no grudge, nothing. But when you want to act immediately, something happens, you want to just you don't make decisions when you're hungry. You don't act when you're hungry. You just want to do something, you want to take a decision, you want to just give a reaction. No, it's really not going to help you. And I know that some people are actually struggling with that. I've met a lot of people that will tell me, I just can't help it, I just get angry anyhow and all that. You may really need to calm down. When things happen that needs you to react, don't react immediately. Look at the situation, calm down. Why is this happening? What could be the motive behind it? If you feel, your husband or your wife said something to you that, okay, why would she say that? Or try to, as much as possible, to make excuse for that person. Or maybe she didn't mean it that way. Or you calm down and later on have a conversation. Anger is terrible. It's not something that anybody can actually tolerate for long. Yes, that's just it. Tolerate for long. And if you are given to anger and you're married, it's a matter of time. It will affect your intimacy with your spouse. Even the Bible says it is better to stay on top of the roof than to stay with a nagging woman. And same way, even for a man, no woman can be close, can be intimate with a man that is given to anger. That when you get angry, there's trouble everywhere. When you get angry, everywhere is hot. So anger can actually mess up your relationship and marriage, and you need to pay attention to that. Now, thirdly, another habit you need to watch is this that can mess up your marriage or your relationship is loosed tongue. If you have a loosed tongue, you say anything anyhow. You cannot keep secrets. You can say anything, things that you're not supposed to say, you say them. People that you're not supposed to talk to anyhow, you talk to them anyhow. It's an habit that can actually ruin a beautiful relationship. So you discover that you just talk anyhow. You know, these people that say, I like to always say my mind. It's not a good thing. You don't have to always say your mind. It's not correct. That is just it. You can't always say your mind. At times, some things come to your mind that are not correct, that are not true, that are not edifying. So you keep those things. A lot of things come to our mind every day because the mind works. So you must if you are the type of person that says, oh, me, I always say my mind, oh, I always say my mind, I say it as it comes and all that, it is not a good habit. It is not a good character. You're definitely going to mess up your marriage or relationship with that because you're going to say things that you will regret saying. You're going to say things that at the end of the day can just cause you a lot of pain. They're going to say things to your spouse that they may not even forget in a hurry, that will just hurt them so much. So if you have loose tongue, you discover that you're always saying things anyhow, you just say it as it comes to your mind, as it comes to your heart, you just spill it out just like that. It is not a good habit. And you discover that you find it difficult to keep secrets. Nobody can confide in you. Your partner cannot confide in you, cannot say, oh, I don't want anyone to hear of this. Your friends cannot confide in you. It's an habit that will mess up your relationship. It can mess up your marriage. So you really need to watch it. Watch your tongue. Process your thoughts. And whatever comes to your mind, think about it. Is this edifying? Is this good enough? Will this hurt somebody? Don't just say it the way it comes to your mind. Don't just say it the way it comes to your head. If you do that, if you continue to do that, it's going to really, really affect you negatively. People will not want to be close to you. That is just it. People will not want to be close to you because they don't know what you can say to them. They don't know the basketballs that you can give them that will make them even want to commit suicide. I know people like that, but people, if they open their mouth to talk, you'll be like, auntie, brother, can't you just process these words carefully before spilling it out? So this kind of habits can actually mess up a marriage and a relationship. Now, another habit that you need to watch that can actually mess up your relationship, your marriage, is lack of regard for people. If you lack regard for people, you cannot have a beautiful marriage. You cannot have a beautiful relationship. That is just it. You don't honor people. You cannot honor your spouse. You cannot respect your spouse. You cannot honor those that are above you. You cannot honor your contemporaries. You cannot honor and respect those that you are above. It is a problem. It will definitely mess up your relationship, because if you cannot honor, you don't have regard for people, there's no way you can have a cordial relationship. You are a wife and you don't have regard for your husband. You talk to your husband anyhow. You don't honor him. You don't honor your in-laws. You just talk to them anyhow. You don't know the difference between, this person is an elderly person. Oh, this is my colleague. I should talk to this person with respect. I should honor this person. If you don't have that, it's definitely going to affect you. It's going to affect your relationship. So you must know that. Learn to honor people. Learn to respect people. That's why I tell young people, it is the habits that you have even before marriage that you're going to take into your marriage. If you cannot respect your father, how will you respect your husband? It will be very difficult. If you do not respect your mother, how will you respect your wife? You won't be able to. It will be difficult for you. So you need to learn these things. And if you're married and you discover that you actually have this thing, you have no regard for people, I want to tell you that you know that it has been affecting your marriage. You know. If you're watching me, I'm sure you know about that. So you really need to change. You need to honor. Honor is something that everybody wants. Everybody wants to be treated with respect. Everybody wants to be spoken to with regard. And same way with your spouse, same way with your wife, same way with your husband. You must learn to honor, learn to regard them. If you're outside, don't just talk to your husband anyhow. Don't say, oh, he's not my husband, I can talk to him anyhow. No, you can't talk to him anyhow. You must respect him. Don't say you can talk to your wife anyhow because you are the head of the home. No, you must respect your wife. You must talk to them with regard. You must place them highly. That is how it is. So, if you lack regard for people, you have problems in your relationship and in your marriage. You must learn to honor people. I know people that can talk to people anyhow. They don't want to know whether this one is my senior, whether this one is. They just talk to people anyhow. Oh, if somebody offends me, I give it to you. I don't care what you do. I don't care. No, you can't really enjoy your life. You can't even enjoy your life that way. So you need to pay attention to that. You discover that you don't regard people, you disrespect people, it definitely will mess up a beautiful relationship. It can mess up a beautiful marriage because that person you're in a relationship with deserves to be respected. That person you're in a relationship with deserves to be honored. Now that man that you have married, that woman that you have married wants you to honor her siblings, wants you to honor her parents. He wants you to honor his siblings. He wants you to honor his parents. He wants you to talk to his friends with respect. That is just it. He doesn't want you to go out there and embarrass him. He doesn't want you to be with him, with his friends, and then you do not even regard them. So honor is very, very important. You must learn to regard people, learn to honor people, learn to respect people. They don't even have to be older than you. So far, they are human beings. So far, they are human beings. That's why I tell people, you want to go into a relationship with somebody, make sure you see the way they treat others. Do they honor people? Do they regard people? It is important. You are in a relationship with a guy, both of you went for maybe to have lunch in an eatery, and then you see the way the guy just spoke to the waitress. Anyhow, it's a red flag. That's just it. It is a red flag. If she doesn't honor people, she doesn't honor her parents, you think she will honor you? You are jonesing. That is just the thing. So you must watch it, please. If you discover that you lack regard for people, it definitely will mess up your relationship, and you need to pay attention to that. Now, another habit that can mess up a beautiful relationship is when you are not teachable. When you are not teachable. I always tell ladies this, that a man wants to marry a woman that she can also contribute. She can also so it is very, very important that you are teachable. If you are not teachable, it definitely will mess up your relationship, mess up your marriage. You are not teachable. Nobody can correct you. Nobody can correct you. Nobody can tell you that, oh, this is how it ought to be. Even when you know that you don't know it, you don't understand it, but you just have this pride. You like call it pride, that, oh, nobody can teach me. I know what I'm doing. I'm old enough. I'm man enough. No, you must be teachable. It is very, very important. It is very, very important. So if you are not teachable, if the guy cannot correct you, if the lady cannot suggest to you that, oh, this is it, I feel you should do it this way, I feel you should do it this way, you will have problem in that relationship. Because one of the things, being teachable will help any relationship to grow. Because both of you can actually have a conversation on how to actually move your relationship forward, how to move your marriage forward. You can have a conversation, okay, what are the things that we need to do to make this relationship better? You can have a conversation pointing out certain areas where there needs to be adjustments. You can only do that with a partner that is teachable. If the partner is not teachable, there's no way you can have such conversation with people like that. So if you are not teachable, you're going to have problem in your relationship. You have problem in your marriage because you can't take correction. Even apart from your spouse, even others, maybe your sibling, your mother cannot tell you that the way you are doing this thing, you don't talk to your husband like this, you don't treat your wife like this, you don't do things like, you don't talk to in-laws like this, you don't do relationships with in-law like this. Do you understand? It will be very difficult for them to even correct you. I tell people that if you are the type that people find it difficult to correct, you're already on the path of destruction. That is just it, because people will just leave you. What have you not met people like that? I know people like that people cannot just correct them. Now and then people like that, you hear things like, me, nobody, people already know me, or they know me for who I am. No, you are just fooling yourself. It's not like they don't know that something is wrong with you, but they know that when they correct you, your head will touch. When they correct you, you will give it to them. So they are just looking at you, and that is the worst thing that can happen to anybody. That people just look at you to just stray rather. People look at you to take bad decisions. People look at you to follow the wrong path because you are not teachable, because you cannot be corrected. So it is important. If you have that habit, if you are not teachable, you're going to mess up a beautiful relationship. No matter how good the person is, no matter how beautiful that relationship is supposed to turn out, if you are not teachable, if you cannot be corrected, that relationship you will mess it up. You will mess up that marriage if you are not teachable. So you must know that you are not perfect, and you must know that you do not know it all, and you must know that there are things that only that you may not see about yourself that your partner sees. Yes, your partner sees certain things about you that you may not see. So when they call your attention to it, you must be able to accept it. You must be able to make the necessary corrections. It is very important. You don't go, I know, accept me the way you are. No, nobody will accept you the way you are if the way you are is wrong. Because people want the best version of you. You can be better. You can change. When you are not teachable, that means you have accepted that you cannot change. I've had people say things like, me, this is how I am, or who told you this is how you are? It's only God that is unchangeable changer. It's only God that cannot change. You can change. You can be wired differently. You can work on yourself. You can work on your character. So don't say this is who I am. Let them accept me. We cannot accept you the way you are if the way you are will lead you to destruction. Yes, because there's a way you are. There's the way you are. There's the way you believe. There's the way you think. There are things that you value that can actually destroy your life. So people cannot accept you the way you are. Your spouse cannot just accept you the way you are. Of course, I know that when you're in a relationship with somebody, you're married somebody, you need to, of course, accept their weaknesses and all. But that doesn't mean you cannot change. The fact that they have accepted this, it means that they have given you allowance. They have accepted you, the way you are, and they expect that you work on yourself. That is how it is. So you must be teachable. To actually have a beautiful marriage, to have a beautiful relationship, you must be teachable. Some people, that is why that guy has not proposed to you. Because if he tries to correct you just on a little thing, you just take it another way. You are angry. You don't want to be taught. You don't want to be corrected. That's why the guy has not proposed, and you're wondering, we've been dating for many years. He has not proposed because the guy is scared. He's scared already. That if I cannot correct you now that we are still dating, that we are still courting, how much more when we are married? These are things that has affected a whole lot of people. So that's why it looks like, the girl has refused your proposal. Because if she does not have a say in your decision making, she cannot influence your decision. She cannot call your attention to certain things that you are doing, that are wrong. How will she freely give her heart to you? How will she freely accept to marry you? So a lot of people have had terrible experiences in relationship. No relationship is working because of this, because the person sees you as not being teachable. So it is important, very, very important, that you work on that you pay attention to that. So these habits are things that you need to do away with It may not be instantly, but you can work on yourself. And the first way you can be free from this habit is to accept that you have this problem. Accept that you have these habits. Accept that these habits can destroy you, can destroy your marriage, can destroy your relationship. Once you accept it, you'll be able to work on it. Don't say there's nothing wrong with you. Don't say this is how I am. Don't say, oh, this is who I am. That is not who you are. That is just it. You are just the one thinking that way. These things are just there to destroy you, to destroy a beautiful relationship, your beautiful marriage. So you really need to work. You need to work on them. Don't be that person that people run from, that people don't want to have anything to do with. People don't want to have a relationship with you because you are proud, because you are not teachable, because you are never wrong, because you have a loose mouth. Don't be that person. You can work on yourself. You can be a better person. You can change. It is important that you actually have this sorted out. It's important that you pay attention to this and you'll be able to work on yourselves, because I know that nobody is meant to be bad. That's one thing I believe. Nobody is meant to have a bad character and just remain like that. We can all change if we give ourselves the opportunity to change. If we value our relationship, you value your marriage, you value your spouse, you'll be able to make certain adjustments. You'll be able to change. You'll be able to work on yourselves, work on your character, work on the things that your spouse is complaining about, work on the things that your fiance is complaining about. Work on those things, and you will discover that you have a beautiful marriage, you have a beautiful relationship, you have less worry. That is it, because there will be so much intimacy in your marriage that even the devil cannot just find his way into that marriage, because you have been able to close that gap. You have been able to close every window by actually having the right attitude in that marriage and in that relationship. Thank you for staying with me. I hope you have learned a lot in today's conversation. Please let me know what you think. If you have any question, you can also drop it and I'll definitely will answer your question. And let me know what you think about this discussion. Are there habits that you've had to work on yourself? Are there other things that you feel can actually mess up a relationship? Let me know. You can also add yours to that. Thank you so much for joining me in today's Let's Talk with Grace Tijesu-Oloyede. My name remains Grace Tijesu-Oloyede, and I am so happy that you actually joined me in today's conversation. Let me know what you feel about this topic, and please, I beg you, make sure you work on yourself. It's very, very important. Character is very, very important. No matter how somebody loves you, no matter how good you appear, people will always look out for your character. Your beauty may attract somebody, but your character is what will actually determine if they want to stay with you or not, if they want to endure their relationship with you or enjoy the relationship. So it is important that you give your best, that you become the better version of yourself. You are not meant to just be like that. You're not meant to have those bad habits and just remain that way. You can always change and you can always get better. So thank you for staying with me. Always believe this, that your marriage can work and your marriage can be better. Till I see you in my next video. Bye. You can still share this video with somebody, please.